This is not great news, but it's really not nearly as bad as some were speculating. Here's the deal with Jayden Daniels. He has a knee sprain per reports. Dan Quinn said he has injured the knee, but he is day-to-day. DQ said the words truly day-to-day. That doesn't even rule out Jayden from playing this weekend. Obviously, our guys got great video of there were two hits in question. Now, this is when Jayden jumped up, grabbing his knee, clearly didn't feel well. These were both late in that game where Jayden was knocked around a lot by that Green Bay Packers front. Jayden Daniels is a gutty player. He is not going to want to miss time. DQ is going to have to balance that. Now watch this one, kind of in a big crowd there, grabs that knee, does pop up, has a little bit of a limp. Let me tell you though, I was in that locker room afterwards. Jayden really was moving around okay, didn't seem overly concerned about anything, but that's who he is. That's his level of toughness. Commanders head coach Dan Quinn said, we don't know anything yet. We're not going to rule him in or rule him out.
He did have an MRI, and he has already begun his return to play process with us. He is truly day-to-day. What does that mean for Sunday? I can't tell you that now. I'll have more to share on that when we get to Wednesday and practice and what that would look like. But in the return to play, he and any of the guys would have to hit all of the markers for us to get back and do our thing.
You've talked in the past about having to protect players from themselves. With a guy like Jayden and his competitive drive, how hard is that to balance what I'm guessing he's going to want versus what you guys have to look at kind of long term?
Yes, you are correct. That's just who he is, which I also love about him, by the way. But it is that's my job, to make sure that one, I'm getting all the information, from the medical side. Is he hitting all the tests? And then you also have to trust your eyes. Where's he at? Where are we going? And so we're just not going to miss it, JP, for he and for any of the guys in that space. So that is the good part of being a competitor. But I'm constantly watching and pushing to see. And then before we even get onto the practice field, they have to go through pretty strenuous testing to see where they're at even before the actual on-field, reps begin. So that's for he and for a couple of the other guys as well.
It's going to be a full week for the Commanders monitoring Jayden Daniels' progress with this knee situation. This is consistent with reporting we had over the weekend that, yes, there's an issue. He's going to miss practice time, I fully expect, but I wouldn't rule out Sunday's game. They host the Raiders 1 o'clock. And keep in mind, backup quarterback Marcus Mariota, when he played last year, was really good. He had that come from behind win week 18 in Dallas. Dan Quinn said of Mariota, we are 100% confident. I hope I have made you feel a little better.
You have. I'm glad you were here to talk me off the ledge, because really the last thing you want to see is week 2, an injury for your star quarterback, and knowing how committed he is to wanting to be on that field on Sunday. What's going to happen if he can't play Sunday, and then moving forward if it's more serious than we think? If
he doesn't play Sunday, they're going to go with Mariota, and they're going to be pretty confident in it. Mariota was really good. This is a veteran player that knows this offense. The big decision is going to be for Dan Quinn. And the issue is Jayden's going to want to play. I guarantee you that. That's how that kid is wired. He's going to want to play. And I've seen DQ have these really tough conversations with his players on the field. It's usually about 2 hours before. The guys will go out about 2.5 hours before kickoff, have a strenuous workout. The athletic trainers are there. Al Bellamy's watching them. Dan Quinn watches them. They go through the workout, and then usually there's an on-field discussion. We actually saw it last week where Tress Way gave DQ 2 thumbs up prior to the Packers game. He had a back injury going in. Now, this Jayden thing is going to have more eyeballs on it, understandably. And Dan Quinn allowed that. They got a bunch of injured guys now that they're going to be working back, but he recognizes what Jayden means to this team and to the fans. Everyone's going to want a ton of information. I won't be shocked if they take this thing up until Sunday morning. The game's at 1 o'clock. Don't have to make a decision until 11:30 on Sunday.
Good news is this is the longest stretch we got other than the bye week.
Right, because it was a Thursday game.
10 days helps.
Absolutely.
He's going to have a brace on next Sunday. He'll be playing. I think that's what's going to happen.
Look at Doug making these predictions.
Are you reporting that?
No, I'm just saying. That's my forecast.
That's your football forecast.
This was our team inside.
I agree with the brace. One other thing to keep in mind, the Raiders play tonight. They're on Monday Night Football.
Oh, good
so Washington's going to get the Raiders on a short week, kind of the opposite. They're coming off that big Thursday gap. So, fingers crossed.